I do something called the 5-star shout out. I love to say this line. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in. You can't make a. You know what I'm talking about.
Me. Good morning. We're here. How's everybody doing this morning? It's your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
Hello, everybody. Sharon the Chocolate Girl is here on Saturday, my favorite day of the week. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope you're doing good, Dennis.
Yeah. I'm doing really good. I had a pretty good week.
You're looking good.
Pretty much enjoying myself.
You're looking good. Looking real good. You got that Eagles. I see you displaying that Eagles hat pretty proudly.
Yeah. Got a new one. My brother gave it to me. Got a new Eagles hat.
Awesome. So, how was the tailgate?
The tailgate was very good. Shout out to Tom Shine taking me to the tailgate because that was the first organized tailgate I've ever been to.
It was good to see y'all when I saw that video. I was like, oh, look at the brothers.
Yeah. That was the first organized tailgate I've ever been to. And it's kind of crazy because as much as I thought it would cost or as crazy as I thought it would be, it ain't as bad as I thought it would be, and it ain't as much as I thought it would cost.
So you got double surprise. That's cool.
Right. It got me thinking about throwing one. That's what it got me thinking.
And see, I think it would be worth the trip if you threw one. I think I might have to make that one.
Yeah. Definitely be worth the trip.
Just
one thing though, it's a lot of.
It can't be after October though. Not in Philadelphia, no.
Well, that last one surprisingly was very good weather, and all the women was out. I mean, all the women was out, all of them.
Well, I don't care about the women, but yeah,
right. But you're absolutely right about that. It does have to be in some suitable weather. You're absolutely right about that.
Usually by now, y'all cold. It's just y'all just happen to not be cold this November, but yeah. So after October, I don't do nothing up there after October.
Which got me thinking it might snow real bad this year. That's what it got me thinking.
Well, that's what they're predicting. They're predicting a nor'easter or something.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. And that was that. And plus, one thing is too much walking. Too much walking. Walking through them parking lots, that's too much.
I'm sure it's a lot because I'm sure it's big.
You got to be built for that. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got to be built for that. That's a lot of walk.
Probably got to get in shape and start jogging about 3 months out.
Yeah, you got to. You make sure you got your most comfortable shoes on, and get yourself prepared and make sure you got you a chair. That's the one thing I ain't got. I'm getting older now. Every time I see people, they always got chairs. make sure I give me a chair.
You mean a stadium chair or a chair to sit in the parking lot in?
Parking lot chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, parking lot chair. Because everybody got chairs. Like you'll go to like certain events, and people will be tailgating out there with chairs. Like I don't know if y'all got an outdoor venue. I don't know what the name of yours is, but we got one called the Dell, and we got another one called the Main, which they used to call the Dell West, but now they just call it the Main. And a lot of people will sit outside and tailgate and listen to the live music instead of paying to go in.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, we got some outdoor venues like that.
Yeah. And every week at the Dell, somebody's coming through. Every week. When I was younger, it was always Jeffrey Osborne. It was always Jeffrey Osborne came through.
Isn't he from Philly?
I don't know. That I don't know.
No,
I
he
didn't know
Philly.
nothing. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about Jeffrey Osborne until he came through. And then Sinbad had did a comedy special, and Jeffrey Osborne was on it.
Yeah. I hope Sinbad's doing okay. Shout out to Sinbad.
They said he was getting better. They did say he was getting better.
That's good.
But how was your week? I'm telling my week. How was your week?
My week was pretty good. I'm still battling these. I'm not feeling well, but I know it's this time of year. I think I mentioned before I have that seasonal affective disorder. So this time of year is tough when the seasons change and it starts to get dark quicker and all that, and least amount of sunlight. Oh my gosh, I need sunlight, and when I don't get it, it takes its toll on my body. My body actually starts to shut down. It's really odd, but well, I shouldn't say it's odd. It happens to a lot of people. It's more common than people know. But anyway, but besides that, I've had a pretty good week. Uneventful, productive, real busy. I've been real busy this week. Just a lot of things to do. Like my to-do list like tripled for 1 week. I'm sitting here looking at it. I don't have that many things checked off this list right here.
Okay.
Only like 4. I got a whole lot more things to do.
Well, you know how the game goes. You gotta be thankful for the ones you get to, and no, you got the other ones just a little bit harder.
That's right.
That's how I see it.
As long as I'm still above ground, I am grateful every day.
Yes. That is definitely good to be grateful about. Being above ground. There's a lot of people out there sick or trying to get themselves together. But we called the show today Movie Magic. Because we're doing our first. Is this our first movie review?
First movie review.
This is our first movie review. I thought we did we didn't do a movie review.
We talked about a couple of movies before, but we didn't really do a movie review or breakdown. We just mentioned, hey, I saw so-and-so. Did you see it? And you kind of like that, but we didn't really do a movie episode.
Okay. All right. Well, this is our first movie review. The Burial. If you haven't seen The Burial, starring Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones. It's a movie based on the 90s. It's the 90s. Jamie Foxx, Tommy Lee Jones, based on the 90s. And it's basically, I want to say no, I'll let you say it. You'll say it. Well, how do you feel the movie?
Well, okay. So just to give a brief summary, it's a throwback 90s courtroom drama is really what it is. Okay. With a lot of comedy in it. And it's based on the true story of Willie Gary, played by Jamie Foxx. And he goes to a Mississippi town to defend Jeremiah O'Keefe, who's a funeral home owner that's played by Tommy Lee Jones. He owns funeral homes and he's in insurance, right? And he files a lawsuit against this multi-billion-dollar corporation, and the corporate attorney is Mame Downs is her name, and she's played by Journey Smollett, who does an excellent job, by the way. She's a distinguished black female attorney. And the villain in this is Ray Lowen, played by Bill Camp, who's this fat cat billionaire practically that owns all of these companies. He just goes and devours up struggling companies, and he just buys them all out. But what comes out in the movie is how he literally rips off the customers in order to get more and more powerful and richer. That's what really comes out of it.
Right.
And it's just
Not
funny
just
to
the
see
customers
how
and the people he's buying their companies from too.
exactly he just really rapes them. Really, he really does. And he doesn't have any shame. He doesn't care. He's like, I don't feel bad about it at all. I mean, it's a true story. I come to find out the only main character that was really made up is Mame, their attorney. Their attorney wasn't a black woman in the
Oh,
real life. It was somebody else. But the director wanted all the main characters in the courtroom like that to be black. That's why if you see the judge is black, the jury foreman is black, both attorneys are black.
right.
That's how she had it. So anyway, that's the only one that really wasn't a real character in real life, real person in real life. But yeah, this happened in Mississippi in the 90s, which is a different time. Just think about Johnny Cochran versus State Farm or something like that. That's what if you could imagine, that's what the courtroom would be like, because he was magical like Johnny.
He was, because his main thing was he knew how to get the jury to like him and pick him. That was his main thing. He knew how to do that. He
Oh
knew
yeah,
how to whatever the story
especially
was.
in the all black county.
Right. He was oh man, he was too good. But he had struggles because he didn't know what was going on. He was having a lot of struggles. He didn't know what was going on, and he tried to do things his way, and it wasn't working.
Right.
But he needed a lot of research. What I don't understand about that big $1 billion corporation
Mm-hmm.
was why didn't you just stall him out? Like, don't give him a contract, making him think you're gonna give him the money in a month, or you're gonna sign a contract in a month. Just stall him out. If he came to you and saying, "Yeah, I want to sell my business to you for such and such dollars," and you know he's struggling, I would have just stalled him out.
Well, that's what he did.
But he
He
but he
did
gave him a but see, he gave him a contract and stalled him out, and that's how it became a lawsuit. But if
exactly.
he would have never gave him a contract, if he would just talk to him, wouldn't have been no lawsuit.
But here's the thing, Dennis. The reason he gave him the contract saying that he was going to buy it was so that he didn't go somewhere else. He didn't
Mm,
want this man to succeed. He
no,
wanted to do him in so he can eventually get all of his business. Remember, he had like 8 funeral homes plus an insurance company,
right,
which was burial insurance that he sold. And that's why, when they went to the negotiation table, he said, "Hey, you can buy my two of my companies, but you got to promise not to sell burial insurance in Southern Mississippi anymore." And he looked at him and then he said, "Deal." He had no intention of doing that because he
right.
made too much money.
I
But
would have lowered, I would have
he didn't
lowered.
want him to go to somebody else because he would be successful and still in business, still competent. He didn't want that. He is cutthroat like that. He wanted to ruin him. He wanted everything. He didn't want just 2 companies. He wanted it all. And
But
that's why he did it.
it cost you your company.
He didn't think it would though. Remember, he's untouchable. Remember what he
And
said when he was at the table. The amount of money that it will take you to ruin me, put me out of business, you can't even calculate.
right,
I mean, he
yes, he
was
did.
just an arrogant, SOB. Like
I'm
I'm
not even gonna lie
untouchable.
to you. When they came with the second offer, and I didn't even get to see what it was, it was like somebody flashed the paper or something like right when you didn't get to see what it was. When they
Right.
came with that second offer, I was like, oh, he gonna take that one.
Mm-mm.
Wife smiled. He looked at it. Nope. I was like, oh man. I'm like, how much did they just offer him? Calvin finally offered him 75 million. He said no.
He was like,
I said,
no,
what?
nope.
Eh,
And then when he
But it
asked
was
him, how does it feel to be a
right.
nobody that's passing on a deal on money you'll never see? He said it feels good. And started dancing. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was so
Oh yeah,
funny.
he did the song. It feels good.
And Jamie Foxx was cracking up. I mean, the whole movie was, I felt like it was excellently done. How did you feel about it?
I like the way it was done as well. You know what was weird to me? The white guy that was, I don't want to say, well, yeah, my uncle would say he's racist. He was racist. That was on the one of the lawyers. The white guy it was Jerry's best friend.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Been his lawyer for 30 years, but he was
Right.
racist.
Mm-hmm. What did you think
Yeah,
about him
I thought he was like really trying to, you know, show that he wasn't racist.
anymore?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was
I
really
do too.
he was mingling and he was getting to know everybody. They was out drinking, they was partying, He ain't had to do none of that.
Because he changed. But let
Right.
me let me let me tell you my observation on that. Because I was invited to talk about this movie in another group. And it was
Uh-oh.
interesting to hear all the perspectives of people. We all saw the same movie. I watched that movie now 3 times. And we all saw the same movie, but if that character hit people differently more than any other character in the movie.
Yeah.
And for me, the first indication at the beginning of the movie where you thought he was racist is when he said, hey son, if you get a minute, can you give me some more bourbon? And then they flashed to the guy he was talking to, and it's a black man with gray hair, but he
Right.
called him son. And see, calling him son is just like calling him boy. They just migrated to son. And it's
Right.
still a very derogatory term to call a grown man, probably even older than you. Um, but you call him that because he's a black man. Well, that was the first indicator. But later on in court, when you find out who his grandfather was, that told me a lot. That told me all I needed to know. It's not that
Mm.
he was racist to the point where he thought that you should be hanging from a tree, but he
No.
still can't let go of it totally. He
Because that's
still
just the way he
believes
was.
there's a class order or an order of things, and that he's okay with the order of things. He just don't want to go around killing folk. You see what I mean? That's a different
Right.
kind of prejudice, not necessarily racism, but prejudice. Like,
No,
you
my
shouldn't
uncle
be
was
an
always
attorney.
like,
Like when the young guy comes up and he sees it's a black attorney, he
right.
was like, that tall guy? No, that's not what you wanted to say. You wanted to say that black guy
Yeah.
coming towards you. But he didn't say it, probably because he knows how Jerry is. Remember, it comes out that Jerry, when he was mayor, wouldn't let the Klan come into the town. Remember?
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And so since he's been his friend for 30 years, he knows Jerry ain't having that. So that's probably why he was just like, you mean the tall one? Instead of saying the black one. Because Jerry
But
ain't with it.
at that point, I was like, man, this racist Waka. But then
Yep.
once he started hanging with Willie Gary's people, once he started hanging with them and drinking with them and they out, enjoying
Mm-hmm.
themselves and having a good time, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe he just ain't been around that many black people, so he
He
don't know.
hadn't.
So again, right, so he don't know how to conduct himself. And now that
Exactly.
he's hanging around, black people, he knows how to conduct himself. He ain't, a blatant racist. I like even the guy at the end when he left, he was like, I don't think you were racist or nothing, but I gotta go as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I had a problem with his I had a problem with Willie's partners leaving though.
Yeah,
Just
well, they,
behind
well,
that, just behind
you
that
know,
one situation, I felt like they were wrong to leave him alone like that.
right.
I really did. I don't think they should have done that. I know if that were me, I wouldn't have done that. But see, loyalty means a lot to me too. And you got to
And
keep
I
your
would,
eye on the prize. You got to keep your eye on the prize. It wasn't that important for that man to denounce his grandfather for me. I don't care. You don't have to. We
well,
gonna go win this case though. We gonna go win this case.
right,
We can deal with that later. But right now we gonna win this case. So I had a lot of respect for him when he said, hey, I need to get off of this case because that's all they're gonna see
right.
if I stay at the table. So that showed you right there he had changed because his arrogance would have never allowed him to do that from the beginning. What you think?
Mm. Willie Gary, and Willie Gary's wife. If it wasn't for Willie Gary's wife, honestly, they would have never got the case.
You
If
think
it
so?
wasn't for his wife, yeah, if it wasn't for his wife, they'd never got the case.
Why do you say
She
that?
she made because when Jerry came to the house, he was coming to the house to say, "No, we're gonna end the case. We ain't gonna do it."
Mm-hmm.
And she went and took Willie Gary to Willie Gary's mom house, and I mean, took Jerry to Willie Gary's mom house, and Jerry was like, "Well, I don't really want to go." She said, "Oh no, you family, you come on, Jerry,"
Come on.
and made him feel comfortable. He went, and he was, it took him a little while to finally try to tell Willie Gary that he didn't want to do the case. The next thing you know, the young man called who actually saved the case completely
Oh
saved
yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
Completely saved it. Yeah, actually saved the case. Went and talked to the people from the NBC, the National Baptist, was it National Baptist Church?
Convention, National
Oh, National
Baptist Convention.
Convention.
Hmm.
And went and talked to all those people and found out how they were stealing money and setting people up and making them work for them just to get money on burial. And then found out that they made 1.2 million off of that. I think it was
Billion with a B.
billion. I'm sorry, 1.2
Billion
billion.
with a B. Yeah. Charging them exorbitant amounts for caskets and all kind of stuff. I mean,
Right.
he was just crooked and didn't care, laughed about it.
Yes, he did.
Laughed about it. Jerry was making a
All of
deal
this,
with the devil.
man, all of this was going on, and like I said, all that guy had to do was have a conversation with him, see that he wanted some money for his business, and stall him out. Don't give him no contract, just stall him out.
Hmm. Yeah, but then he
But
wouldn't have got what he wanted. Because what he
man,
really wanted, like I said, was to
sometimes,
ruin him.
sometimes you, don't- sometimes every deal ain't meant to be made.
Oh, I
And, I
know.
say
You're right.
I say that in sports a lot. Like maybe you wasn't meant to make those trades. Never know, might hurt you. What you think might have helped you might have hurt you.
Oh yeah, like I think the Cowboys are finding that out. They let Ezekiel Elliott go. They shouldn't have.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
another
But
story.
I ain't. On a quick note on that, they had Ezekiel Elliott. They'd beat us on Sunday. I said that. If they had Ezekiel Elliott, they'd beat us on
Yeah, they would have.
Sunday. Yeah,
But that was
but
a good y'all were masterful though. That was a good game.
yeah.
You know who my favorite player is on the Eagles team besides Jalen
What,
Hurts?
what
Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey.
I
Everybody
love me
loved
some
Jason Kelsey.
Jason. I love me some Jason.
Jason Kelsey.
But I said that
Probably.
I love him and I love um uh, Smith, the wide receiver. What's his first name?
Oh, Devontae.
Divine. You know I love him. I think he's
Yeah.
my second favorite, and then Kelsey. Yeah, yeah.
I just don't even know. So this is back to the movie. I'm sorry, but
That's fine.
you you do a how much was he gonna pay Gary for those properties for him to take over his business?
I can't remember the dollar amount. And I didn't write it down. That's not a note
I
I took.
because honestly, you I'm gonna say it was a couple million. You was about to do a couple $1 million deal that might have got you maybe 30 more million.
Did they say the number in the movie?
I don't know if they said the number or not, but
I can't
I
remember
know he
now that I
lost.
think about it. I don't
I
remember if
know
they
out of all
said the
that
actual number.
he ended up going out of business though. You were $1 billion company going out of business.
Yeah, because the board was finding out what he was doing, and it brought embarrassment and shame to the company when it got out in court. See, people didn't know. Nobody knew that's how he was making his money. Nobody
Right.
talked about it. Remember those people? Nobody had ever talked to them about it. They never
Right.
complained until old boy, what's his name? Sam? I think his name was Sam. Went and
Yeah.
found these people after he looked at that folder. It's like it was like oh gosh, what was the name of that movie with Julia Roberts? Mm,
I
can't
don't
think
know
right
that.
now. Where she played the attorney and saved all those families that got sick from the chemical stuff.
I don't know that.
Yes, you do. She won an Oscar for it.
That don't mean I watched it. Let me get that out the way.
Yeah, I know it doesn't mean you watched it, but
Yeah, I don't know that.
um
It might get to us later. But, yeah.
oh, I mean it's the one that she's really, really the most famous for, if you ask me, besides my best friend's wedding and uh sleeping pretty woman and oh
Pretty
gosh, what's the name of
woman.
that movie? Aaron Brockovich. That's it.
Never.
Oh, come on. You've never seen
Mm,
Aaron Brockovich?
never.
Never heard of the movie?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Don't even
well,
sound familiar.
that's your assignment. You need to watch that. That's going to be the next movie magic that we do. You need to watch it. If you like this one,
When did Aaron Brockovich come out?
1990 maybe?
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
probably why.
see.
That's probably why.
2000. It was in 2000.
Oh no,
You were old
I was
enough.
yeah, I was going on movie dates at that time. I
Yeah.
don't know why I
It
didn't
was
never heard
Aaron
of
Brockovich. She won the Oscar for it.
it.
Well, you like The Burial. You need to watch that. You will really like that.
Uh,
You
I know
will.
it.
Yeah, you will. You will like it. But anyway, so I had a question that I wrote down for you.
Okay.
What stuck out in the movie to you? Like what main thing that you thought was really pivotal about this movie? More or more than one.
I think the fact that I'm all one, even though you say it's not true story part, but the fact that they went and got them a female black lawyer, one of the top female black lawyers, to because they know that they was going into an all black town and going against Willie Gary, who don't miss. Well, I thought that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that stood out to me probably was Willie Gary's wife saving that case.
Yeah.
Sure, saving that case because Jerry was done. Like if Willie Gary was home, opened the door, Jerry would have told him the case was over, and then he'd have got back in that tax cab left. Being the fact that
Yeah.
his wife was there and so warm and so welcoming, and then took him to his mom's house, yeah,
They
his
were
wife
family.
saved that kid. And she
Yeah.
said he was famous.
Yeah. I think, that the wife is one for me, but not only for that reason. What was special to me was how she treated him. The love that he showed her. I mean, that she showed him
Right,
through everything, and how he felt comfortable being vulnerable with her, even though he was stammering and stuttering when he had to tell her he messed up.
right.
He went to her and told her, "Babe, I messed up." That right there, that got to me. That made me choke up a little bit because he went to his wife. That's where you're supposed to go.
That's where you're supposed to go.
That's right. And the way that he also treated her like the queen she is. There's a scene when they're in his house, no, in the hotel. She comes to see him in the hotel. She surprises him, and then
Right.
they put on music and start dancing.
Yeah.
That right there was everything about their relationship. And that was interesting to see. And for me, I felt like the way that he respected women throughout the movie was shown. He respected Jerry's wife, his mama,
Yeah.
everybody that worked for him that was a woman. He was very respectful of women.
Even the girl that he was going against.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
Now,
respected her and told
what
her
you say her real name is?
Journey Smollett.
Nah, all this time I didn't know that. Is she related to Jesse Smollett?
That's his sister.
Oh Lord,
Yeah,
never
their
knew that.
sister and brother.
She been acting for a long time. She was on that
Oh, yeah.
second. She was on that second run of the Cosby's.
What do you remember her in Renegade Gridiron Gang?
Yeah,
She was what's his
she was the
name's
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
She was also in Roll Bounce.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep,
And she was in one of my favorite movies, Tyler Perry's Temptation.
yep, yeah. But anyway, that was a good movie. I enjoyed that. I felt like that stuck out. But something else that stuck out to me that a lot of if you didn't think about it, you could miss it. When Jerry and his best friend lawyer and Sam went to the negotiating table with the fat cat. That's what I call him, the fat cat. Um, first of all, I found it interesting when Jerry came to him, telling him what he wanted to do, that this guy actually had his business card already in his pocket. That said something to me. That said, you probably had already had some conversations with this guy, possibly, because you had his business card. How else would you have this business card of this
Oh,
person?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Talking about his lawyer. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
his lawyer
yeah.
had that business card already. And recommend this is the person you need to see. Let's go see him in Canada. All right. So
Right,
they get there, and pretty much the way that his attorney was talking, it was as if he had already prepped the fat cat that Jerry was going to agree to the deal, because the way they
yeah,
were talking, like, this is just run of the mill stuff. We do this all the time. Even his own attorney was acting that way in the room.
right,
And because I don't think he knew that Jerry was going to tell him, you have to agree to not sell any more burial insurance in southern Mississippi, because they showed his face and he was like, what? Like, he didn't say anything about that. Right.
that was
And then
that wasn't
after
part of the
they
deal that I was prepped for.
wasn't exactly, I believe that he brokered that ahead of time, and it was supposed to be a done deal.
And when they didn't come back with the money or the contract within 30 days, or I think it was supposed to, he was supposed to have it to him
30
within a month.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he didn't have it in a month. And then next thing you know, Sam was like, "Well, you the only one that signed it. He never signed it."
And then Sam was also the one that told him that he didn't believe that this man was going to go through with the deal. And Jerry's attorney was like, oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Like Jerry Returner was like, "No, they good people. No, they not good people."
Now, you don't know what you're talking about. But see, Sam, this is the thing. What was his attorney's name? I forgot. I hate to keep saying his attorney, but his attorney was telling Sam that he didn't know what he was talking about, because he had already talked to the fat cat to get the deal done. This is what I'm
Right.
saying. I believe that he was just as crooked as they were until he got to finding out what was really going on. Then he decided, okay, I'm going to help my friend, because
Right.
yeah, this was kind of foul.
Absolutely right.
Because I'm sure that the fat cat promised the attorney friend a finder's fee for connecting them.
Probably,
What you think? And see, he probably
probably
got
so.
mad.
I
He
don't think
probably
this
got
is the
mad
first time.
because he didn't do the deal, then he didn't get his cut. See what I mean?
Right. And I don't think this is the first time that they did business together.
That's exactly right. Thus, the business card already sitting in his wallet.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
So that stuck out. The relationship between him and his wife stuck out.
Most definitely.
Oh, and at the end, when in the last courtroom scene where Jamie Foxx or Willie asked him that question, I just have one question. Did you feel bad about it? And he was like, no, and walked out. And then he was mad because of the way Willie Garrett, Willie Gary, had just obliterated him in court. And remember, he was throwing a hissy fit and throwing stuff and yelling and screaming in the room.
Oh man, he was mad
And
because he made him
and
look bad on the courtroom. Yeah.
and
Especially when they asked him
Journey
how much is
Smollett did. She did like this.
yeah.
She was done. Once all that stuff came out, she didn't even know he was that bad
No.
until all that stuff came out. You see what I mean? So she was like, you know what? I'm supposed to be representing this dude, but he gonna get all he get, because at the end when she was talking to Jamie, she said, I don't know if that was really enough.
Yeah.
She's
That's what she
still a
said.
black woman. She still care about her people.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. It's a great
I
movie.
like the part that he asked him about the boat. How much did the boat cost? He kept saying that. How much did the boat cost?
And then he
He kept
said,
asking about
well,
the
how
boat.
much does your plane cost? He said, well, how much does your plane cost?
Right.
And he was like, well, I guarantee you, I know how much mine costs, but that's not what we're talking about. I'm asking you, how much is your boat? Flipped it right back. And and when he was when he got mad and he was about to walk down off the stand and the judge told him to sit down. Oh God. He was fit to be tied. You see the way he looked at that judge like, how dare you? And then he had to remind himself, you are in a court. He does have the robe on. You better sit down.
That's right.
Oh my God. That movie was fantastic. Sister Sheila in the comments. Hey Sheila. Yes, you do need to watch the movie. I've been telling you that. You need to watch it. It's a very, very good movie.
Man, you got Amazon Prime. You paying for it. Might
She
as well
got
take
it.
advantage of it. I
She
know
got
you
it.
got it.
What don't she got? I don't know. But
No, I'm
anyway,
just saying. I know everybody got Amazon Prime. You got
everybody,
Amazon Prime. Take
everybody.
advantage. Right.
Listen, let me tell you how stupid I am, Dennis. I had an Amazon account, but I didn't have Prime. I didn't get Prime until last year.
On football season.
No, no.
Uh,
Only because I wanted to get something quick, like overnight. When
right.
when my charger went out, my laptop charger went out, and I had to order another one.
Yeah.
This
I
was
know
not
those
last
problems.
year. This was 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And I finally got it just so I can get that overnight shipment thing because I needed my laptop to work. But anyway, what was your favorite part of the movie and your least favorite part of the movie?
Um, least favorite. My least favorite probably was the way that they did Jerry on the stand. That probably was my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That was my least favorite part. My favorite part of the movie, um, probably probably was after he lost and he apologized to him in the bathroom because he had to realize that he just can't win every case and he can't go at every case the same. He had to change his ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was personal injury lawyer. He wasn't a contract lawyer. He
Right.
didn't ask
Eh,
the right questions.
right.
Yeah.
That's that's what it was. When he told the
Hmm.
story on how he became a lawyer, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's
Because
my favorite part.
yeah, because
Yeah,
he told the story about how all he wanted to do was move his family into a bigger spot. So all he wanted to do, and when he called down there and said was the vacancy available, God told me yes. When he got there, the guy told me he had no more vacancies. He said from that day forward, I got the yellow paper. I looked in there. First lawyer school I seen, I went, came back, sued his ass after I got my degree.
that's right. Because he's like he embarrassed me in front of my boys. My boys
Right,
look up to me. Your children sitting there looking at, where's the house at, Daddy?
exactly. Because he had the money. It wasn't about the money. He had the money. It was about the fact that he was black.
That's right. Even in the 90s, this is true.
No, this is still true now.
Well, that was still in the 80s when that happened. But
Yeah, I
still,
mean, this is still true now.
oh yeah, it's
Certain
still
jobs,
true today.
and I've noticed it because certain jobs I've got, they've been happy to talk to me over the phone. My name is Dennis Holmes, so they're happy to talk to me over the phone. But once I get in there, it's like, well, now you're different, and I'm not in there, you know, pants sagging, dressed. No, I'm in there dressed properly. I actually have on a shirt with a tie, ready for the interview. I'm early because
You
I
checking
noticed one
all
thing
the
about these.
boxes.
Right, check all about. I know one thing about these interviews. Be early because they always gonna be late. Every interview I had, they've been late. Well, not everyone, but
Everyone.
most of the interviews,
Mm-hmm.
they've been late. There's
Mm-hmm.
always something late about them. They're always fumbling. They don't know who you are. But if you late, oh, it's a problem.
That's right.
So I noticed that then the conversation was different now, and I'll sit there and I was like, yeah, I talked to you over the phone. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Dennis Holmes, right? Yeah, yes, Dennis Holmes. Talk to you over the phone. Not the same person. At first, I thought people were just having a bad day, but it was happening too many times, and I was like, okay.
A bad
They was
day.
looking for a white. They was looking for a white guy.
Of course. I mean, that happens a lot. And the last time that happened to me, I interviewed at this small company to be their digital marketing person.
Okay.
And everything went great over the phone.
Mm,
Everything went great in the first interview. But the second interview, when they brought the supervisor in, I could tell when she walked in and sat down, she wasn't ready for me. And see, my name is Sharon. It's not Shakita. So
yeah.
Sharon, it's not that many of us named Sharon. It's just not in the workforce these days. So I mean, Sharon is an old name. It's not a lot of Sharons. And so I'm sitting there, and I mean, I checked all the boxes. The other
Yeah.
two young ladies was ready to hire me. At the end of the interview, they spoke highly of me to her in front of me. She asked me, I think she might have asked me just two questions. That was it. Okay, well, you should hear from us by Tuesday, blah, 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 blah. Never heard back, never heard yes or no. Period. I was like, mm-hmm. And I
I
remember
think it,
telling my sister at the end of that interview, I don't have this job, Sheila. I could tell by the way this woman was looking at me.
I have it. I know how you feel. Um, and I know this had to do with more so my weight at this time. I had a lady talk to me over the phone. We talked over the phone twice. She told me
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I came in to meet her, and she wasn't there. Some other lady was there, and I could tell by the way she looked at me, this interview wasn't gonna go good. Then
Mm-hmm.
she gave me an interview, and there was three questions, and that was it. And I was like, oh no, I ain't got. And this is a black lady. I was like, no, I ain't got this job.
Oh,
And I
girl,
remember I called my aunt.
uh,
'Cause my aunt,
sometimes they can be the worst ones, the black
right.
ones.
My aunt do a lot of interviews, and I called my aunt. I was like, yeah, well, everything sounded good over the phone, but when I got there, this other lady interviewed me, and it was like She just gave me 3 questions and that was it. She was like, "Oh no, she prejudged. You ain't getting that job."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been on an interview and had 3 questions. Never.
Three
That's
questions.
never happened to me. Three?
I never forget it.
Well,
3 questions.
that second interview, that woman, I think she asked me 2 or 3 questions. I know it was no more than three. And it wasn't even meaty questions. It was just like, oh, so tell me about yourself. Oh,
Right.
okay. Well, why do you want
I,
us?
I
Why should we
always
hire you?
I always think they ask the dumbest questions. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you need somebody at your job to do X amount of work, you need to say that at the interview. Like I even tell my job that now. Like they'd be like, it's hard for me to put certain people here because we don't do too much here and we work so early. I said, the questions that you asked in the interview. I said, first of all, you need everybody to be here, you know, 6 a.m. Can they be here 6 a.m.? Are they willing to work and do everything that needs to be done? Because today they may be a cook, tomorrow they may be a dishwasher, the day after that they may be putting order up. You don't need somebody who only know how to do this.
Right.
That ain't what you need.
Right.
And then y'all talking about, the number one thing they always say was a lot of people are lazy. Well, that pandemic made a lot of people lazy. So that's what you're gonna get. But you need bodies. You need
Yeah.
bodies and you need to
Until
do
the
bodies.
until the culture changes back, you're right. That's what you're gonna have to deal with.
Right. And I told
And
them you need bodies and you need to do bodies. I only want to do bodies. I don't care if they, after a while they get tired. I don't care about that. But let's get the job done to do. And then you go ahead and go on your break.
yeah, well, but back to the movie. I think my least favorite part was your least favorite part too. The way that they did him on the stand.
Right. And Jerry was done. He was upset. Up to the set.
Yeah. And he hated to replace Willie. He didn't really want to take him off the case.
No, he didn't.
He really didn't want to. They really hurt him. And he was like, that's not who I am. And it's not. I mean, you can see that. But anyway,
Yeah, but your
um,
bull fat cat had to come down after that NBC situation. National Baptist what is the
convention.
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 I was gonna say
Hmm.
correlation.
Yeah,
After
they
that,
they
he had to come down.
they what wasn't it? What'd you say?
I said after that, after they found out about the NBC stuff, he had to come down. And once he came down, they got him.
Yeah. He was an evil dude. But anyway, so you know what we gotta do next, Dennis.
What's
Like
that?
every good movie review, we gotta give a rating.
Okay.
So Cisco and Ebert used to do thumbs up, thumbs down, and the dudes on a living color used to two snaps in a circle or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
snaps. So I figured we give them the Jones. So 1 to 5 Jones. So how we gonna rate? How would you rate this movie, The Burial?
I would give it a 4.
4 Jones.
4 Jones.
4 Jones. Why not 5? Was something missing? Bless you.
Excuse me. Uh, it just wasn't a perfect movie. I think a 5 is for like a perfect movie. I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was perfect.
What could have made it perfect? You think? You don't
No,
really
I don't
know.
know.
You just don't think it was perfect.
I didn't feel like it was perfect.
Okay. Well, I actually gave it 5. I gave it 5 Jones because I thought it was
Okay.
excellently done for the story. Everything from the casting, I even like the camera, the cinematography, and the camera angles and so forth. The music, the soundtrack, the music that they chose for the scenes were perfect. Well, maybe I'll give it 4.5 Jones. because the only thing that I was left questioning was whatever happened with him in that land where all those people, those unmarked graves are. You know, at the end,
Right.
he's standing there looking at that land, but they
Right.
don't say anything about what did anything happen with him in that land. Did he buy the land? You know, nothing was said about that land, and I wanted to know. You know,
Yeah, I wanted to know. Man, it was well, it was something else I wanted to know. Like,
I wanted to know that
did him and his homies get back together after that?
that too. Yep,
Yeah.
whatever happened with them after that, because they shouldn't have. You know, I didn't like that part either. I
Yeah,
told
but
you that
I
I didn't like
understood it.
that part.
I understood it because in the '90s that was like a real, that Malcolm X movie had just came out. So um, Rodney King had just got beat. OJ's on trial. A lot of that's going on at this time. So I understand where they were coming from, but you don't leave your man Willie Gary here with the whites by himself though. That's all I'm saying. Like if you ain't
That's
like
my
what was going on,
that's my issue. I
right?
understand could have, but see, they acted on emotion. That was my thing, and you can't in
Right.
situations like that. You can't act on emotion. You gotta be smart. You gotta think.
Definitely do.
And I felt like they weren't thinking. Yeah, okay. I'll give him 4.5 Jones then. 4.5 Jones.
Paul Jones. Yeah.
If y'all seen it in
Now
the
you
comments,
now,
just put it in the
now
comments what you rate it. Hmm?
now you watch a lot of trial movies because you wanted to be a lawyer and still pursuing on being a lawyer. Now, out of
Right.
all the trial movies you watch, I want to ask you this: where do you rank this?
Um, probably fifth,
Okay.
maybe fifth. And I can tell you what my four above it is. At least these
Okay.
four are above it.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see.
A Few Good Men,
All right.
Philadelphia,
That's my joint, Philadelphia.
Aaron Brockovich,
Ain't seen that yet.
and oh gosh, it's that movie with Paul Newman in it. Oh Lord. Hmm.
Paul. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
It's
this ain't
Paul
number
Newman
one.
is an attorney. Oh, Lord. The Verdict.
The verdict.
That's it.
Okay.
The
I heard
Verdict.
of the verdict. I heard that
Mm-hmm. Love that movie. I just couldn't think of the name of it. But those have to be A Few Good Men. Probably I'm stuck between A Few Good Men and Philadelphia being my number one. That Philadelphia movie was
one. Really
phenomenal
good.
and slept on. That's Denzel was flawless, but that Tom Hanks was brilliant too. It was a
Yeah.
brilliant movie.
I didn't
And
watch that one till later on,
yeah,
because I
I
wasn't
watched it. I
I
went to
wasn't a
see it
real
at the
big
theater.
I wasn't a real big Denzel fan early
Oh
on.
shoot. I go all the
Yeah.
way back to Saint Elsewhere when he was on TV, man.
I wasn't a real big Denzel fan early on. You know the movie that got me to become a Denzel fan?
What?
John Q.
Oh, you were late to the party.
I didn't hold on. I didn't see John Q when it came out. I didn't see John Q until probably like 2007. That's when I
Lord.
became a Denzel
Did you
fan.
ever see
2007.
Ricochet?
I don't think I seen Ricochet.
Oh my
I might have
gosh.
seen Ricochet.
Goodness, what's wrong with you?
What goes on in Ricochet?
Ricochet's when he's stalked by this white guy. I haven't seen it in about 15 years now, so now I forgot the storyline. But I
Okay.
love Ricochet.
I watched that.
Ricochet,
Now, here's what's even crazy about this Denzel situation, right? And I think I told you this, but I'm gonna say it again here. At my school, they shot the movie Fallen at my school with Denzel
right?
Washington and I forgot the guy from Roseanne, the dad from Roseanne. I can't think of his name right now.
John Goodman.
Yeah,
John
they both
Goodman.
was in it. and they shot this movie at my school. Now
Mm-hmm.
all the teachers, besides the one I had, was excited to go out there and take their class to go see Denzel. Like that was the big thing. Oh, Denzel out there. Yeah, we ain't teaching nothing today. We gonna go see Denzel.
Yeah,
Not
sure. I
my
don't
teacher.
blame
Not my teacher. My teacher still teaching their lesson.
him.
All right. I got the teacher still teaching a lesson. So the one
Mhm.
time I actually get a chance to go out there, Denzel ain't out there. I said, you know what?
Man, let
I
me
gotta
tell you.
have the teacher that want to be,
Listen, you
in the
gotta
moment. Like they gonna shoot
you
movies here all the time.
you like suspense and thriller movies. You gotta see
Yeah.
Ricochet. This is when I learned that John Lithgow is one of the he plays one of the best villains ever in the history of acting. John
Okay.
Lithgow is a great villain.
That name sounds familiar, but right now I
John
can't tell.
Lithgow. I'm telling you, he in this movie, he is just twisted. I love him.
Man. 'Cause I seen Fallen. I think Fallen is one of Denzel's worst movies to me personally.
Probably. It was just okay. But it's
Right.
Denzel. I mean, it's no critique on his acting. It was just the movie itself, the way it was
Right.
written. It just the story wasn't that great, but he's brilliant to me. You know, some people out here talking about he's the same person in every movie. That's a lie.
No, it's not. It's not. Because
Yeah, that's a
Q,
big lie.
John
Big
Q,
lie.
Training Day, and American Gangster, three different people.
Even Malcolm X,
Malcolm X.
Ricochet, Man on Fire.
Yeah. What's the other one I seen when they robbed the bank
I
and it
don't
took them a
remember.
while to find out who did it?
I don't
The
remember, but you got
incident.
to see. So you got work to do. You got to see Aaron Brockovich and Ricochet,
Yeah.
and I
Um,
know you can find both of those movies this weekend and see them.
yeah, I'll find them.
Oh yeah, with all you
What up,
got.
Ryan?
What's up, Ron? I'm just telling you that Denzel. Woo, he's somebody I would meet. But anyway, so Jamie Foxx, Tommy Lee Jones. I thought it'd be interesting if we list our favorite movies by those actors. What's your
Favorite
favorite?
movie.
What's your favorite Jamie Foxx movie?
Favorite Jamie Foxx movie. Ah, what is a movie about Jamie Foxx I can watch over and over again? It might be I'm being another homer, but it might be what's that one when he's the lawyer and he sends the guy to jail and he don't get no time. Uh, and the guy builds a whole underground tunnel to keep killing people. What is that thing
Did
called?
I see that?
Yeah, I know you seen it.
Oh, Roman J. Israel Esquire. That movie.
No, no. Uh,
He's a
I can't
defense
think of the name of
attorney.
this movie. It's a
He's a
law-abiding
defense.
citizen. A law-abiding
Oh,
citizen.
okay.
That's
I
it.
like that
That,
one.
that was
Okay,
taken.
but that's
That
not
was
my
taken
favorite.
in Philadelphia as well, right
Oh,
down the
okay.
street from my aunt house.
But that's your favorite.
That's my favorite. That and another. If I had another favorite Jamie Foxx movie, yeah, it probably would be that and probably Booty Call. Even though everybody say that's one of his worst movies, but probably Booty Call. Because I thought Booty Call was just so funny to me. I don't,
Well, I'm gonna tell you my favorite movie that I could watch over and over again with Jamie Foxx in it is Collateral with him and
Collateral.
yeah, with him and Tom Cruise. I love that movie
Okay. Okay. All right. I know what you're talking
with Jada Pinkett in it. I love it.
about. Okay.
Love
I know
that
what you're talking
movie. That's my
about.
favorite.
Now, what's another one?
So if I had to give three, I like The Burial. I like him in this movie. I really
Yeah,
like him in this movie. Yeah, I do. Um, but besides, let's say if I hadn't seen the burial, mm, mm. I didn't like Django, so I'm not gonna say Django.
I'm not
I
a
didn't.
fan of those. I'm not a fan of those slave movies personally. Not a fan at all. That's just me. I'm not a fan. 12 Years a Slave,
Well,
Django, and all that.
well, Collateral is my favorite. I'll give it to Ray. I'll say Ray.
Ray was cool. Ray was very cool. He
Yeah,
did a great job on Ray.
he did an outstanding job. What about you? You got another one?
Nah, I take Ray. I take Ray on that one. But Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. I would have to say. I'm going to have to say Volcano number one to me. I
Really?
like Volcano. Yeah, I really like Volcano. I don't know why I really like Volcano so much, but I really like Volcano. Number two would be The Fugitive, and U.S. Marshal probably be number three, which they should have just called The Fugitive Part Two. But I don't think they
Exactly.
lying on how they
Exactly.
felt. Yeah, how they felt about that and what was going on with that situation. Uh,
What
the
situation?
other, the other Tommy Lee Jones joint, Men in Black.
Of course.
Yeah,
You
Men in Black.
can't name his movies and not mention Men in Black, the first one.
I actually like the
Well, you
third one
probably did.
really good. I seen all of them. My grandmother's a very big uh, Will Smith fan. We watch everything Will Smith, even 6 Degrees from Separation. We watch everything from Will
Yeah.
Smith. Will Smith did something.
Me too.
My grandma.
Me too. Well, for me, for Tommy Lee Jones, my favorite would have to be The Fugitive and U.S. Marshals. I guess that's a tie. And then Men in Black, the first one.
You know what's one that a lot of people don't talk about? When he plays the Texas Ranger protecting the cheerleading girls. What is the name of that? Because they seen somebody die. It was eyewitnesses to a murder.
Um, No Country for Old Men. Is that the one you talking about?
No, he was a Texas Ranger. It looked like a movie that Chuck Norris should have did, but
Yeah.
he must have passed on it.
Well, he's a Texas Ranger in this movie, in this picture. He's a sheriff. Sorry. Same difference.
Brown
And
away
I like The
terrorist movie.
Burial.
Yeah, I like the barrel. The barrel was nice. I'm glad you told me to watch it because I probably want to watch
I'm telling
it.
you,
And
it's
we
a
did
good
our
movie.
first.
It really is a
I
good movie.
can't think of the name of this Texas Ranger movie. Hold on. I'll get it together. Give me a second. This Texas Ranger movie you played in with Christina Milian.
Oh, she's in that movie?
Yeah, Christina Milian. She's one of the cheerleaders. So it's actually a bunch of young female actress girls in this movie that good morning, good morning. That played in this movie. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of it. What is it? Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it. Probably because he got too many of them.
Texas Cowboy. Let me see.
Right here, Man of the House.
Never
That's what it
heard of
was.
that one.
Man of the House. Yeah,
I have
it's pretty
never
good.
heard of that.
He's always a cop. Ain't really did too much. talk to his daughter every now and then. And the girls actually get him to lighten up, go on a date because this lady that he likes. He goes on a date. He actually, gets more in tune with his daughter. Come to find out, the guy that killed that cop was one guy that knew him, so he knew how to get in contact with his daughter and tried to kidnap his daughter as well. It was a pretty good movie.
Mm. Well, yeah, those are my favorites. Every time when the fugitive comes on, I usually watch it. And U.S. Marshals because I like him with our boy. What's his name?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah. I liked him with was Robert Downey Jr. in that one too?
Yeah. Wait a minute,
He,
Buck Flair. He wasn't in Blown Away.
he talking about, I think he's talking about Jamie Foxx.
Was Jamie? Hold on. He was. I just remember Jeff Bridges. I don't remember Tommy Lee Jones being in that movie. Have you ever
Samuel
seen Blown
Jackson.
Away, Dennis?
Don't think so. I don't even see
Okay,
it.
that's
I
three
don't even
now.
see it on his filmography now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it was from 1994. Yeah. So Jeff Bridges is this guy. I guess he's from Ireland, and he's mad about something dealing with Ireland. He starts blowing people up, planting these bombs, and doing some stuff. It's a good movie. Lloyd Bridges
I
is
see
in
the
it.
rules of engagement. I see that.
Yeah, you got to see it. Blown Away. So your
Blown
job,
away. Okay, here we go.
your
I see it
your
too.
homework is to watch Ricochet, Aaron Brockovich, and Blown Away.
Okay.
So these are going to be the next three movies that we review. Because you got to see those. But those are some good movies.
That's good. We definitely will. Rules of engagement. I seen that.
No, I haven't seen that either. It's a lot of movies I haven't seen. But I ain't like Josh. Shout out to Josh. I'm not like him. I've seen most movies that most people have seen. Most of them, but not all. I'll say that. But anyway, so look, before we get out of here, I did want to talk a moment, just a hot second. I know we don't talk a whole lot of sports on the Side Jawn because we do that on Tuesdays at Talk Your Ish Tuesday. But um, I want to talk a minute about this University of Michigan sign stealing thing, just to make sure that our viewers are updated on the latest in that story. The latest is, well, first of all, there have been personnel in the University of Michigan football organization that have been accused of stealing signs, going throughout the college landscape and attending games and stealing signs and reporting them back to give their team an advantage. One person, they focused on one person in particular. That person has subsequently been fired. And it's not clear yet if he's going to be prosecuted with anything. I don't think he's done anything really illegal, maybe just a little immoral. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. And let me tell you something else, Dennis. I am sick of hearing people say, oh, well, sign stealing, that's just part of the game. It's done all the time. I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear it. Because when the Houston Astros was found guilty of doing that, this whole nation went crazy. So I
Right.
don't want to hear it. Don't tell
That's,
me it's just an accepted part of the game.
that's because it's baseball is considered a American sport.
I don't care what is considered. This is college football.
They even got their own national anthem, as I would say.
Well, I'm telling you that if this was a different university involved in this controversy, it would be a whole different story. This nation would be up in arms again. If this was Florida State or Miami, Listen to the teams I'm saying. You know where I'm going with it. If
I
this was
don't.
the University of Miami or
I think
Florida
only way this
State,
would be different is if this was Deion Sanders.
not
That's the only way
necessary.
it'd be different.
No, not necessarily. There's still remnants. People, do you know people still look down on those teams just because of what the U used to be in Florida State?
Mm,
People still look down on them. They don't give them any passes for anything. They do. And yeah, God forbid it was an HBCU. It would probably be over with. But
right.
anyway, if this was another school, Georgetown, or if it was Tennessee even, or Arkansas.
If it
Oh,
was
please.
Bama, it would be blown up a little bit differently.
If it was Bama, it would be blown up a little bit differently, but it might be even swept under the rug a little bit more. Depends.
Depends. Yeah, you're right.
But because it's the University of Michigan, everybody wants to poo poo on it and sweep it under the rug like it's no big deal. Oh, it's done all the time. Everybody's doing it. Oh, now they're trying to say Ohio State and these other teams was involved in it too. First of all, you talking about you trying to say Ohio State people were in cahoots with Michigan people doing something. Something that would be that nobody they didn't want anybody to know about, and they're gonna trust somebody from the University of Michigan at Ohio State? I don't think so. I don't think so, bro. I don't think that's happening. Now, if you want to talk about getting together and do some research on how to cure cancer or how to deal with people who have become paralyzed and work together with their research departments, sure, they will do that any day. They're not gonna get in no cahoots and steal signs with nobody from Michigan because they know they can't trust none of them MFers. So no, they're not gonna do that. So I think that's BS. That's one. Two, the latest, folks, is that the NCAA has suspended. Was it the NCAA? Yeah, the NCAA has suspended Coach Harbaugh. Why? What's suspending him gonna do? What is suspending him going to do if they're still going to be allowed to play and participate in the race for the what do you call that?
Well,
The playoffs.
he's suspended again this season. This is he was suspended before.
Yeah, he's suspended again.
How long is he? Does they say how
That
long
just
was he
came
suspended?
that just came down yesterday. I don't know for how long, but he's
Uh,
suspended. I don't know if it's till further notice or what. But here's my thing. They're still
he's
going to get to play
yeah,
and be
but he's
considered.
a
They're
national
not
champion,
they're not
possibly.
listen, they're not winning these games because of Jim Harbaugh. Anyway, I kept saying this from the beginning of the season, but everybody just wants to call me a hater because I'm an MSU graduate. No, it's not. I'm looking at what I see. Dude is not a great, he's not that good.
Well,
And the
you
coaches
know,
around him are not the best, but it's definitely not, they're definitely not winning because of him. And I knew something was wrong because 3 years ago, they couldn't even beat MSU, let alone Ohio State. They couldn't beat Michigan State.
right,
We were whooping them. Then all of
right.
a sudden, they beat us. Then they came back, they beat Ohio State, they beat Notre Dame, they beating all these people. I'm like,
I think they
very,
play Penn State. They play Penn State this weekend, right? I think
yeah.
so. Today?
And
Yeah, I
I
think they
think
play Penn
is it
State.
at Penn? If it's at Penn, it's gonna be a whiteout game.
No, I
But
don't think it's a whiteout. I think they played their whiteout game already. That's what pissed me off about Penn
okay,
State.
then they're in Michigan then. I
Uh,
just, you know what?
I don't know. I think it is at Penn State. I think it's at Penn State. Hold
Let
on,
me
I'm
let
looking
me
at it.
just,
Keep
this
talking.
is all I wanted to say. I had to get this off my chest so I can move on. The degree that people will go to protect the University of Michigan makes me want to throw up. It's worse than the bias that people have for Duke University. It's worse. It's worse than anything I've ever seen in the history of college sports ever. Every season, when the football ratings come out before the start of the season, Michigan is on there. Every season. It doesn't matter how they did the prior year. Doesn't matter how good or bad their recruiting season was. They're always on that first 25 list. And then when they start stinking up the place, they finally gradually slide them off. And nothing else is ever said about the fact that they were on there to start with and shouldn't have been from the beginning. But it happens every freaking season. Annoying. Yeah, Buck Flair said it's at Penn State, so good. I'm sure they'll be whiting them out, and I hope they whoop them. But
I
anyway,
got Penn State winning.
it's annoying to me, and this goes beyond my hatred for the school. You got all these Walmart fans. In other words, they didn't go there, they didn't grow up around the school, but they just love the school and want to look down at other schools, their
So what you
rivals.
call it? Wait, what you call it? What kind of fan?
They're Walmart fans. In other words, they go to
Mm.
Walmart and go buy a Michigan shirt, but they don't have any other connection with the school at all. They didn't go there. The mama didn't go there. Nothing. Oh, but they're all, oh, I'm a big Michigan fan. Oh. Leaders and best. No, cheaters and best. That's what they are. Cheaters and best at it. So yeah, everybody want to make all this big deal about Mel Tucker at MSU just because he decided to jack off during a phone call. But this dude,
Like,
these people are over here affecting the game. At least at Michigan State, we didn't cheat the game. They
so,
cheated to win. I'm sorry, that's worse to me. But you're
so
not,
Mel,
but
I
everybody's,
just
I don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying that's not what they did. That's not what's happening here. At Michigan State, we did not do anything to affect the game.
you didn't. You did. You actually got
No,
in trouble for phone
nothing
sex.
was done to affect the game. These people out here, that he was under such pressure. He couldn't beat not only Ohio State, but he couldn't even beat Michigan State. I just want to emphasize that Michigan
No.
State, they look down their nose at every year since 1935 and beyond, or 1835, I should say, been looking down their nose at us, but they couldn't even beat us. Harbaugh couldn't beat us. Then all of a sudden, they're great. Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to say that, get it off my
They still
chest.
got to win the big dance after all that.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't even be allowed to compete because they've been, and before people want to say, oh well, it's not unfair for the players. The players didn't do the sign stealing. They shouldn't be punished. They got an advantage.
I ain't worried about the players. Players
They're
get paid.
just
Players getting
no,
paid
no. I'm
now. I ain't
saying,
worried
I'm
about the
saying
players.
other people are like, no, don't do that to the players. No, it should happen to the players
You
because
you
they
heard
were given
you
an
heard this from Dennis.
advantage through the sign stealing.
Well, you heard this from Dennis. I don't give a damn about the players. They're getting paid now. All right. All right.
See,
And we're
well,
gonna do that.
that's a
That's
whole
right.
nother story.
They're getting paid now.
I don't even want to talk
Now,
about
now if
that.
all this scandal happened and they weren't getting paid, I'd have been like, man, that's fucked up, man. They done messed up their whole. But this scandal happened, they getting paid. I don't give a damn. You got paid.
Well,
All right.
I don't even care
You got
about
paid.
them getting paid. My thing is they're cheating the game, and the rest of the teams in the Big Ten are pissed, and I don't blame them. The rest of the Big Ten ain't pissed about Mel Tucker, but they darn sure are pissed about them cheating the game.
Mel Tucker lost his job to phone sex.
Did
Hey,
you not listen to? You need to go listen to now my 2 podcasts I've done on it. Because
I seen him
yesterday
when you did the. What was
I
that
released the
Thursday?
second one
Yes, I think
yesterday.
it was Thursday you released one, and I was like,
Yeah, it was Thursday.
I
Hmm.
thought I remember the girl. I remember you told me the girl lied. You told me the girl
She's
lied, and I was
lied, and
like,
the proof is out there, but nobody is. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm so pissed about this Michigan thing. If what happened at Michigan State had happened at Michigan,
Ain't nobody care.
They would come out the woodwork to defend Harbaugh if this had happened to him and the woman had lied on him.
You think Mel
Nobody's
Tucker?
saying anything about this.
You think Mel Tucker deserves an NFL job?
He deserves whatever he's qualified to do. He does not deserve to have his reputation ruined for the rest of his life by a woman who's lying. And I'm trying so hard to call her a woman and not say something else. Because looking at the text messages that his attorney brought forward, this woman is a devious chick. She's one of those women that
Well, she
women
might.
like to
Oh,
eat
well,
cake.
you know what, Sharon? We had to learn. There's a difference between a woman and a female. And she's a female. That's what she is. She's a female.
I don't like the vilification of the word female, though. I don't. Because
You don't want to
I'm
call her a
proud to say
woman.
I'm a female and I don't like the vilification of that word. I know some people like to do that. Sharon does not.
Okay. Well, one thing we know, you are a woman. I call you the chocolate girl because it goes with that song, but you are a woman, and we know that. So let's get that out the way. People can't say, oh no, because the word you want to say is a female dog. That's what you want to say.
Yes, because that's what she is. This woman,
So we're gonna take
listen,
the dog part out and just say female.
listen, Dennis, go listen
I'm gonna listen to it.
to
This is
my
my
shows.
podcast thing anyway,
Did
so I'm
you
gonna listen to
hear
it.
what Chocolate said? The first episode is Mel Tucker is accused of what? And then the one that I released Thursday was the follow up to that after the evidence has now come out.
Mm.
And I called it, oh gosh, I forgot what I called it. Quick as that.
I thought it
I
was called
called it,
Timeless. Something Timeless.
no. Which is, I called it Receipts Tell the Story
Oh, okay.
because they came with his attorneys now have come with their receipts. She has lied about everything. She has lied. But nobody's out here trying to clear his name. If this was Harbaugh, they would be clearing his name all up and down ESPN, FS1, CBS, CNN, MS, all everywhere. New York Times, Washington Post. It would be everywhere trying to defend this man because he's at Michigan. Ain't doing nothing for Mel Tucker. It's wrong. So if you go to YouTube and you go to Ticket TV broke the story and read the entire letter from the attorney with all the evidence in it. And she was messing around with Damon Stoudemire too.
Damn.
Another married man. So anyway, that being said, that's the end of the show. So
That
I'll
is the
send it
end of the
back to you,
show.
Dennis.
Now let me tell
Send
you
it
what
back
my
to
final
you.
words is. Let me tell you what my final words is. Masturbate. All right. It don't
Oh,
cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing. You hear me? I'm gonna say it because it's gonna save a lot of people jobs.
you got to
Okay.
warn me when you about to say stuff like that so I can close my ears. You know my ears are delicate.
Listen, you can please yourself. You ain't hurt nobody. Ain't nobody upset. You know what I mean? Masturbation is the key. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not in it to tell you what you need to look at when you masturbate. That ain't my problem. You might got an old thought or something. That's on you. But the only thing I'm saying is, don't let none of that stuff leave the house.
All right. Well, my final words is think about your mama, your grandmama, auntie, whatever that older person that means something to you, whoever that person is, whenever you're about to do something or decide to do something, close your eyes and think about that person's face looking at you. If you don't want them to see you do whatever this is you're thinking about doing, you better not do it. Let that be your guide. That keeps you on the straight and narrow. Because if you got to hide it, then you ought not be doing it. Flat out. In the words of Willie Moore Jr. Flat out. That's just the way it is. It's so hard for people. But that's my final thoughts. Back to you,
Sister Sheila
Dennis.
said, just turn the camera off. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah,
Cut the
well.
camera off.
Mm,
Most of the time when I got the camera on, I'm usually outside doing something, just getting content. That's all.
mm-hmm.
And that's it. I'm not doing nothing crazy. And again, thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate y'all each and every Saturday morning. See y'all next week. Might have another movie review.